Okay, welcome back everybody to the North Shore of Oahu. We're at my studio, Tabora Studio, doing studio sessions. This one is number 4. We have the lovely and talented Ann Wood. Say hi, Ann.
So talented, I can break anything you give me.
Notice she didn't fix the beautiful part, the lovely part. All right, so anyway, she's the one running the show with the cameras and all of it. I'm just doing the painting part, okay? So anything that's done outside of painting, that's on her.
Let's blame it on me.
All right. So anyway, we're gonna be doing the second part of this session, and I want to do this area here that I changed earlier. But now I'm going to do another change, okay? And this is this is good. I didn't intend it to be this way, but now that I notice it, I think it's a good teachable moment that, the things that I've been telling you guys about trying to avoid patterns, because they will look awkward after a while, because human beings are built to look and recognize patterns. Okay, so you have to work against that part of it. Don't give them something to feel funny about and then get in the way of admiring your work. Okay, so you have to be conscious of that. And I, being conscious of that, noticed that I might be repeating a pattern here. Okay, I got this globular shapes, which I tend to do anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I kind of have the same pattern here, right? And I have the same spacing here, right? So those are two things I don't want, right? So I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change that. But I just thought it was great that, here's an example of what I was talking about. It's not intentional on my part, but now it shows you that, even if you've been painting as long as I have, you still have the kind of it's not, you have to be conscious of what you're doing all the time. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. You gotta pay attention, because there are certain things that happen that you get in the zone, or you're in your groove, right? And then you get away from the part that got you there, which was the planning and focusing and whatnot. But it's good to recognize that early. So before I block this guy in, I'm going to change the profile a little bit just to make it different than this. Okay, so I'm going to do that.
All right.
Okay. So, but first, let me see about changing the shape of this. Maybe if I extended it here. Yeah, maybe if I extended it there, let's say that's covered up. So at least it's not bumpy. And then maybe I'll reduce this guy here a little bit. Yeah, I think I'll do that.
All right. Easy fix.
Well, in this case, it's one of the ways you can fix it. There may be other ways you can fix it, right? And that's another good thing to know, is that you don't have to get all freaked out that you're picking the right one. Right? You're picking the right one that feels good to you right now, right? But you, just like what I just did, right? But you can change it if the feeling leaves you, right? Then fine, be honest about that and see if you can improve on it, right? Okay. So we will go with our darks again, right? But this time it's not going to be as dark as this. We're going to lighten it a little bit, right? This is kind of high chroma, right? Because it's up close, right? High chroma wants to come forward, okay? It's bright, right? So we'll make this guy bright as well, because it's not that far back, but it won't be as bright as this, okay? So that is the challenge to you, right? But you know what you mixed, right, earlier. So you want to go with that same mix, okay? Okay. That was the indigo, and we got some manganese, violet, and that looks really light, yeah. So it's too light. Let's get some red in there and get it closer to that purple, but it also made it dark. That's good. We want that. And let's see, is this? It's still kind of. That's about right. I guess we'll just make it redder. So I'm adding some cadmium red medium. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. Okay, just paint it right up to the edge there, and we'll finish that edge later. Okay, I like it.
So you said it's going to be darker, brighter?
What's
lighter?
that?
What, this is going to be brighter?
No. As we're going back, all right, you want to make it less bright because bright has an effect of wanting to come forward. So we don't want this guy to come forward more than this guy, right? Because this guy is obviously in front of it. So you have to honor that part of your composition, right? One is in front of the other, so it's closer to you. So, but if you want the other one behind it to have attention, then yeah, you make it high chroma, and the composition tells you it's behind it, but the color or the chroma of it tells you it's important, right? Because it wants to come forward. It wants to be the star. And that's, so this gray here is not as bright as the first gray. And it's gonna get duller once I work it some more. Take it up to the edge. And it don't have to be as exact. You can bite into the other, to the green. It's okay. In fact, that's part of how you can make it even more random, yeah? So that the patterns that you may have, you can break it up at this point. It won't be major, but even the minor ones help, yeah. Okay, so that's good. And again, you can fix that part of it, the edge, later on. You'll have time. This is none of what we're doing now is the final look, okay, or necessarily the final look. It may end up being the final look, but we're doing this knowing that it doesn't have to be the final look, okay? Meaning that you don't have to think in terms of you're ruining something, okay? And if you don't get it right now, you can still make adjustments, like so. Okay, not good. Okay, and now we'll switch a little bit here and make it a little bit redder, a little bit lighter, not much. This is too light. No, it's not red enough. That's better.
It's really cool how it's just dark and then there's something real in front of it. I love how that looks. Looks really cool.
It is?
Yeah. It's just my mind, obviously I'm just so far from being able to
No, you're not around it all the time.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even know that's how you do it.
Yeah, I know, because you're not around it all the time.
I know. It's crazy.
Because this is how I do it every time. Except for the wash part. Okay, and then we will switch to a smaller brush to finish off the bottom part here. Like so. I like that much better. All right. Now we're gonna add some greens.
We get in at 10:30 tomorrow. Does that sound right? Do you remember?
At night, tomorrow night?
In the morning. I'm gonna tell Atu she's gonna pick us up.
Oh.
Did I tell you how much it was to rent a car? Maybe I didn't tell you the plans yet.
No, you did not.
It's $500 to rent a car for a day.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Wow.
So we Atu will get us, and then we'll either take a taxi or a Lyft or Uber back, depending
Okay.
what's available.
Right.
The taxi's the sure thing. The Uber and Lyft are cheaper, but it just depends if they're available.
Right.
But crazy, there just is no cars over there.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Everywhere.
Too bad I'm on a diet. I can't go to Krispy Kreme. But I could stop at the pie store.
Sure you can.
I could pound those like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. Whatever rules you impose. Remember, though, you made that up.
Yep. I'd break it for key lime pie. Krispy Kreme, it's okay. They sell them over here once in a while for donation. I could get it if I needed it.
These are not needs.
That's right. So I don't need it. Pie, on the other hand, is always a challenge.
What you need?
Yeah, I love it. But if I take one bite, it's the whole pie, so I have to steer clear. I like the supermodel diet. You know, they just drink Diet Coke and smoke cigarettes.
If you're getting paid,
Right?
maybe, yeah. Well, they're doing more than that.
I'm no doubt.
Oh, no.
I think my limit stops at the Diet Coke.
Okay, so we're putting the light green on here, and the green is not as bright as the green here, right? By design, you don't want it to be brighter because you don't want the attention here. And as you can see, the first strokes are bright because the paint is clean. And then the more strokes there are, I'm picking up the darks, right? So I put the cleanest one up front, right? Because that's when it's the brightest. And then the brush gets dirty with every stroke, and then you can fan away from that, right? Again, the brightest is the first stroke. So put it to use as the closest part to you. There's a tendency to want to start at the top edge and then work your way this way. But from my explanation, you can now see that by doing that, that will be your brightest stroke. And that is the one that's making it want to come forward. And you don't want that, right? You want the edge to go back, not come forward. So good intentions, but that's the wrong way to go. Okay, so again, clean, and also as I'm going back and forth getting paint, my mixer is getting dirty, right?
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Well, yeah, because I'm transferring and it's not necessarily, really a bad thing. It's just you just make an adjustment, lighten it up again, right? Throw in some warm orange on there, okay, and create another clump here, right? So that's nice and bright, right? And then as you get away from it, you can tell that the strokes are not as bright, yeah, because it's getting dirty. So we do that again here. Knowing what kind of stroke your brush is going to leave will help you a lot as to where to do it, where to put it, and how much to do it, you know, stuff like that, you know, and you may get it wrong in the beginning just because it's the beginning and you don't know what you're doing exactly, but sooner or later you will, and then you can use it to your advantage. You know, which part do you want to come forward and which part do you want to go back? Like here, this guy is bright, right? And as I go further back, it's getting duller, not as bright, right? Because this is closer to me than this. So I want to do that. Again, bright, and then as I'm going to the edge, it's getting duller.
So there's a little bit more you need to know when you're painting a sunset versus the moon. Seems like
in everything, every kind of situation that you're trying to create, you know, you need to fully understand that and the differences. So you can't just use, you know, one size fits all in let's say technique, but the way things relate to each other, yeah, they're all the same. You just gotta make the adjustment to what will make it work for you. Now that you're doing a moonlight, okay, what will you have to adjust? And that's a fair question. Okay, so that's good. That's good right there. Let's see, let's make it a little bit warmer with the orange. Like so. More orange, just to vary the green a little bit. Again, you know, first stroke is clean, and so that's the part that wants to come forward. So you put it where you think it should be, and the edges, some of it are up close, but most edges will read going back like a ball, right? The basketball, there's a part that's closest to you than the sides, right? So you have to be able to communicate that. Everybody knows it, but it's better if you can read it visually, right? And then you'll know when it's not. That's the other thing. You know, if it looks weird, to the viewer, then the viewer, you know, can't get into it, right? Because there's something in the way that they know is wrong, right? They may not recognize it as what it's wrong, but something's bothering them. It's not, they can't get into it the way they should. See, then that would be your fault. Remember to leave some of the darks, that's your shadows, yeah? Don't cover them up. Even in the seemingly vacant spots in there, you know, try not to make it so flat looking. I guess this is for you.
it is. Who is it?
It's Atu.
Oh. Did you answer it?
No?
Okay, I'll call. Oh, is that a text?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, she was saying she'll be there waiting for us.
Okay. Well, we're not going to go anywhere. I think she was trying to answer to you, right?
Yeah, I used your phone to text her because
Oh.
mine was occupied.
I see.
So
That's why.
I told her it was me texting
Okay.
on your phone.
Okay. It was just me that's out of the loop. Everybody else knew what they were doing. Okay, I like the way that's turning out.
Nice.
Okay. Now let's add some other rocks. This green can stand to be brighter, yeah? So this is just the first layer to cover that value of the green. And while that's starting to set a little bit, I'm going to work on the part that's the rocks. Okay, kind of like what I did here. That looks way too light. Let's see what this looks like. It's a little bit high chroma. We'll bring it down with a little bit of white. Let's see what this looks like. It's a little better. We'll just bring it down a tad more. Some yellow ochre. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that. It actually can stand to be a little bit lighter. Let's see. Oh, okay. That's good. Okay. Creeping it up. Oh, let's do it down here first.
Tickling you?
I thought it was some kind of bug. What the hell?
You said, I'm so quiet, and there's something that's not quite right.
And it's like, what is that? Let's do some here. Orange. So this is not the final look again, right? We can come back with a smaller brush later on and put in the smaller strokes
With the dead stuff?
with everything.
With the nature?
Well, everything that needs to be done with a small brush, we will do with a small brush. But in the meantime, all the big parts we can do right now. And this guy here needs to be filled in too. Smaller brush.
Smaller brush, same
Same
army
idea.
green mixture.
Well, it's for the detail of the rock, so that not all your strokes are the same size. Yeah?
feels like Friday, doesn't it?
It feels like
the weekend.
2019.
Yeah, it's like a flashback to March. I feel like that was the last time we were in Lahaina was when that was March or April, not March, so February or January. What do you think? January we went to Lahaina and then
Probably.
we went over to Genesis Gallery on the Big Island.
Yep.
And we haven't been back. Time just flew by.
Well, now that we're looking back, it seems that way, but at the same time, when it was happening, it was very confusing.
My neighbors were sad today. They said, I feel like I miss COVID. I don't see anyone anymore. Everyone's at work all the time.
Yeah, well, you are what you get used to, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like some people couldn't deal with the change in arrangement.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I paint at home, so.
Yeah, so it's totally nothing new for you.
Nope, not at all. The not going anywhere, that was new.
Yeah.
The no shows.
Right?
Yeah, so that's different.
Yeah, it'll be kind of cool to check out Lahaina on a Friday night and
Yes,
see
correct. That's what we want to do, actually.
what's going on over there.
Yep. Yep.
We
Earl
don't have
Thompson
any
said
5x7s
he'll be there.
that are done, do we? We can surprise them with those.
Well, it's too late.
Yeah.
They're not processed,
Oh, okay.
right? But I got 4 of them. The 4 on the right, from the waterfall on.
Hmm.
That's theirs, yeah.
Oh.
And I just finished the waterfall. The waterfall can go in that frame,
That the
big frame,
and the green frame?
the big green frame.
Yeah.
That's what it's made for.
We can call someone to process it. All we have to do is write a name and sign it on the back and go.
If you wanna,
Mary Jean might be gone for the day. She has her relatives from Ireland arriving,
oh,
but I'll find out. If she's around.
and if not, it's, by next Friday it'll be there. For one thing, it's not, the waterfall is not dry enough.
Oh, it's not.
Well, yeah, so that's why it's a good idea. I mean, I
Okay,
tried
so
to
wait.
finish up, well, instead of having an accident, right? You don't want that.
Anyways, we might sell them too fast if we bring them over with us, and then you have to start from square one.
Okay, that's a totally wrong attitude. That happens to fit the goal.
See?
And then all of a sudden, you go, wait a minute, we don't want to sell them.
Then we should-
No, we do.
But if someone doesn't like that frame, you're right. If it's wet, the paint can stick to the edges.
It's
and,
gonna stick anyway. Oh, there's the original.
What are you pointing at? Oh!
You see the edge?
Oh, yeah. I see it now. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I gotta fix that.
It's a nice looking thing.
It's not bad.
There are just a few good ones in the batch.
What? All of them are good.
It's like your little babies. They're all so good.
Well, they are. If they weren't, they wouldn't make the bus, I'm telling you. When does Reagan go back to school? Not sure.
Yeah. Let's see.
August.
Could be August. My kids will go back in August, and I think full time, which would be great.
Really?
I mean, it'd be great if they went back full time and they don't have to wear a mask. The mask that's tough in schools that don't have air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not 100% sure what their story is.
Mm.
I think grade school will for sure, because
What?
they ended it full time, so she should be okay.
Mm.
And I like they have staggered drop off and staggered pickup. So she would go to school at 8:20 and get picked up at 2:45 instead of 8 o'clock and 2:15.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that because there's not a line to block traffic, and it's easy to get in and out of the school.
It's just smart.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, by now they should kind of have an idea how things really work,
Mm-hmm.
and then based on that, okay, how can we make it work for everybody,
Right.
right? That's the whole point. Putting a lighter green to give the darker green some shape. You know, it's kind of roughed in there. You know, like I said, it's not final, it's not the exact, but you know, it'll give it some volume. And it'll give it the little tiny strokes, because remember we used a medium-sized brush on this, so that will add to the dimensions. But again, it's not the final one, so just add on to the look of it, add on to the volume. You know, randomly put it on there with, well, not as random as, you know, I mean, the light is coming from the left side, right? So whatever you can do randomly, but keeping that in mind, that you're going to highlight the edges that face the left side. And it's not the final highlighting either, you know? You're gonna do some more of that later on, so don't worry about it too much. We'll try to sneak in some greens here and there, so that they're not totally isolated in one area. Let them creep in there, you know, as they normally would, right? In crevices, you can find them. So the more natural looking, the better. Okay. So there we go. How you doing on time, Ann?
Let's see, what time is it? 4:20.
Okay. So should we wrap it up?
Sure.
Okay. All right, gang. So lots of things happened today. We made some changes, and then we made some more changes. But these are all wonderful opportunities to witness it in real time, right? It's not set up to be mistakes, but it shows you that making mistakes or not hitting the mark, however you want to phrase it, is part of the process. Don't let that dismay you, all right? Look at it as these problems that need to be solved, one way or the other. There's no getting around it. You're gonna have to deal with it, whether early in your painting career or later, wherever, right? It'll show up wherever it wants to rear its ugly head. But that's not gonna be a big deal. It's okay, Ann, I'll do it. Put it down.
Don't touch my stuff.
You know, wherever it is that you got to deal with it, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay? And then solve it, and then either it never shows up again because you never make that mistake, or if it does show up again because you got carried away, you know how to fix it, meaning that you will preserve your rhythm of what you're doing, right? So everything is headed in the positive, correct direction, okay? So all of it is good because in the end, you're improving, right? You're not going to improve the way you want to improve. It's just going to handle itself organically. You make mistakes, you recognize their mistakes, you make an adjustment, and then you've improved that part of what you do. And then you'll do more of those, and then pretty soon you've got a whole pile of improved stuff. You know, you don't even know. But because you're working, that's what happens. That's part of the deal. You want that to happen. Okay? So, again, we got a little bit here done. I will see all about trying to finish up the mountains in our subsequent sessions. But tomorrow we won't have one because we're going to be on Maui.
Oh, yeah.
Right? For the Friday night art night. I believe we're doing it at 12 to 6.
We got our own art night.
Well, because
daytime.
Because we got to fly out.
Yeah.
We're trying to catch the flight. So we're not going to be able to follow the usual 6 to 9 that we're all used to doing. But that's okay. We'll be there. So hopefully if you're in the area, come by, say hi. Tabora Gallery, Lahaina.
Yep.
Right on Front Street.
Yep.
Facing the ocean.
That's right.
That's us. Okay, we'll see you there. And then when are we going to pick this up again? Next week?
So, yeah, I think it will be on Tuesday and Friday, potentially.
Tuesday and Friday?
Yeah.
All right, we'll make an
But
announcement.
Tuesday for sure.
All right. So anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you next time from Tabora Studio, session number 4. Out.
Aloha.
Aloha.